Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic-Geddon TV, the only place on YouTube where all geek culture collides. Today, we're taking a look at the Zord Ascension Project, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Dino Megazord. Alright, so I know this has been out for a while, released by Hasbro. I did just order this back in the beginning of January. I've had it for a while. I'm only now getting around to doing a review on it. This is actually my first Megazord. As a kid, I always wanted a Megazord, never got one. My mom told us that she had put one on layaway for us at Kmart. And then within a couple of weeks, she was supposed to pay it off, give it to us. Well, it never happened. When I asked her about it, she said she just couldn't afford to finish paying it off, so it just got put back on the shelf. So I never actually got a Megazord growing up. I never even got one of the larger Power Rangers figures. My brother did, but I never did. The closest I came was the Morphin Action Power Rangers with the flip heads. So that was the closest I got, the most Power Rangers figures I got. I did get a die-cast Ninja Megazord, but it wasn't the one that, the combiner. It was the one where it was already assembled and it had the detachable Falcon Zord, but that was it. And I had that for the longest time, and then the arm broke off of it at some point, and I think I lost it in a move or something like that. So this is my first actual Megazord. I have to say, I'm pretty happy. I know a lot of people have had problems with the Zord Ascension Project Megazords with pieces breaking off or whatever, especially in the Astro Mega ship. So far, I haven't had any problems. Well, there was one problem, very minor. It's not a big deal. We'll get to that here in a minute. So this is the box it came in. And as you can see, it's got a slip cover. So here's the slip cover. Very cool. As you can see, there's some pieces in the background. There's the regular cover. And with the slip cover, it's actually pressed in. I'm not sure how well you can see that on the inside, but it is pressed. It shows the different Zords, individual Zords, Power Rangers logo, the Megazord in battle mode, tank mode, and then the little Rangers inside, which, as you guys can probably tell, it is empty. But this is kind of like a shoebox almost, the way it opens. I'm going to keep this box along with the slipcover just because I think it looks so cool. I really like the effort that they put into designing this box. I mean, even though it's not really texturized, it looks texturized. So you got the head of the Megazord. Look at that artwork on the side there. That just looks really cool, really detailed. If they ever did an animated Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that's what I would want the Megazord to look like. And then the other side just has the individual Zords. You got Tyrannosaurus, Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, and Saber-toothed Tiger. The back, it's just got the Z for Zord, or Zur Ranger. Same with the top and the bottom. Now we'll go and open it up. And like I said, it's just essentially a shoebox, but look at that artwork inside. You got the Megazord battling Goldar. And while the artwork isn't as good as the outside of the box, it's still really amazing. And it's not that cartoony artwork that they used in the old coloring books either, or in the old comic books really. This is new artwork, very detailed, very action-oriented, very almost lifelike, the inside of the box, which I think is really cool. You have the power coins with it looks like the consoles on the inside of the Megazord, or on the inside of the Zords. You have the Tyrannosaurus, you have the Red Ranger, and then you have the Zord itself. Same thing, Pink Ranger, Pterodactyl, and the Zord. Now, this isn't identical to the way the cockpits were designed inside the Zords, because they had they had the Ranger, and then this part here, it was like a fusion between the Ranger and the dinosaur type deal until it came into the actual power coin design. Now behind these just pull right out, and there's little compartments with the baggies. You guys have seen those before. They have the Zord Ranger logo on them. That's what they packaged the Zords in. I'm not going to show you those. You've seen that in other reviews before. So I'm not going to go into detail about all the packaging and everything. I just wanted to showcase this aspect of it because I really, really like it. It looks almost holographic. It looks like it lights up. It doesn't, but that's what it looks like. And I think it's really, really cool. Really great detail for packaging. All right, so real quick, before we get into the Zords, I want to show you the 5 little mini type micro figures that this thing comes with. So we have Zach, the Black Ranger, Mastodon, Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, Pterodactyl, Billy, the Blue Ranger, Triceratops, Trini, the Yellow Ranger, Saber-toothed Tiger, and we have Jason, the Red Ranger, Tyrannosaurus. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the size of these things. Though they're painted one solid color each, I don't know if I could get a brush with that small enough to be able to paint the individual colors. I might be able to. I don't know. We've got some pretty small brushes in there from our figure painting for some of our games. These are a lot smaller than those even. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to take the time to paint these or not. But from what I can tell, and I can't tell a lot because my eyesight is not that great these days. I'm about to turn 42 years old in just a couple weeks. My eyesight's going downhill. But from what I can tell, these have a great deal of detail. And they just look really awesome. And they look like they're the scaling they should be compared to the Zords. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the individual Zords. All right, so here we have the Mastodon. He doesn't do a whole lot, but the paint detail is very nice. No stickers on this thing, it's just paint. And I really, really like how it looks. I would have maybe gone a different route with the feet or the legs. I would have probably maybe made them look a little bit more metallic. Not quite as metallic as the tusks and the trunk, but a darker metallic, just to show that machine aspect of it. But overall, pretty nice. Now the legs don't really move at all, other than whenever you're transforming it, and nothing else really moves on it. I mean, these tusks kind of wiggle a bit. They're a little loose, but that's about it on the Mastodon. Now let's take a look at the Pterodactyl. Now again, Pterodactyl doesn't really do a whole lot. I wish it would have came with like a stand or something. That would have been nice, so that if we wanted to pose them as their individual Zord modes, it would have been possible. I also wish, because if you've seen I forget the actual brand of it, but it's a newer Megazord, smaller. They actually use the power sword as a tail for the pterodactyl, which I think makes a lot of sense. I wish they would have found a way to incorporate that and like put the power sword into the tail. I know that's not what it is or how it comes across in the show, but it's one of those details in that Megazord that I found really, really interesting. But the wings, you know, the wings can move like so. Not too bad. They can fold inside for whenever you combine them. The head can move back into combining mode. And it can extend out, up, not too bad. The tail can do that essentially. That's pretty much it. Now, there is one thing which I'm not sure if it was intended for or not, but there are some cannons that attach to the Mastodon when in tank mode, and they do also attach to the pterodactyl, so you can have it firing off. And I guess if you want to, you can stand it up like that, which I think, you know, is pretty cool. I can't remember, given the color scheme of the cannons, I'm not sure if they're intended for this purpose, but I do remember the pterodactyl having some cannons on the fin, on the tail that it used. So yeah, it works nicely there, and it acts as a kind of stand for it, really. Now we'll get into the Triceratops. As you can see here, pretty basic. No wheels on the bottom. However, the treads do, or at least they do, when they come out, or when you take it out of the package, they're in a little bit further, so you got to pop them out and they lock in place, or so it seems. So I'm not going to try to push them back in. I don't want to risk breaking this, given the problems other creators have had with Zords breaking and stuff. I don't want to risk my one and only Megazord breaking. Now the tail cannon does fold in for whenever it goes into combiner mode. Can come out, go back like this. You can shoot behind it. The guns rotate. You can have it up high like this. You can have it come forward just a little bit. The head is on a swivel. That's more so for whenever it goes into leg mode. Does the mouth open? It looks like it wants to. Yes, the mouth does open. This is the first time I've tried that out. So it does open. The horns don't move really. But yeah, that's it for Triceratops. We'll move it over here. Saber-toothed tiger has more articulation than the other three Zords. Almost as much articulation as Tyrannosaurus. So here's saber-toothed tiger, and as you can tell, it is bigger than the Triceratops. I wish they would have made them pretty close to the same size. I know in the show, I can't remember if they were kind of the same size in the show or not. But there's saber-toothed tiger. The tail moves just like on Triceratops and fold it in. You can have it as a gun. You can have it back like this. The legs also move. They're on kind of a ratchet joint. So they ratchet at the shoulder and at the elbow / knee. They do not hinge at the ankle though. Same with this one. The back hinges at the shoulder or hip area, at the knee, but not at the ankle. So there's the saber-toothed tiger. Also, something with the saber-toothed tiger, the mouth does move, the head moves a little bit more than Triceratops does, because it moves at the actual head as well as at the neck. And then also the teeth fold up for whenever it's in combiner mode. Now we'll get into the Tyrannosaurus. Alright, so Tyrannosaurus has the most articulation out of all the Zords. And the legs are on ratchet joints because it has to support so much weight given the transformation. So the head kind of moves up and down, but you can see the Megazord's face. Let me adjust this a minute. But you can see the Megazord's face underneath. In order to keep that from happening, kind of, you can open the mouth, but still, you can see the top of Megazord's face. I wish they could have provided something inside to kind of cover that a little bit more, but given the price, you know, not bad. The arms do move kind of up and down at the shoulder as well as at the elbow. I did find that when you first get them out of the packaging, you do have to, the elbow joints are kind of tight. You do have to almost force it a little bit, but be careful, you don't want to break the arms. It works, I mean, when you go to combiner mode, but the pterodactyl doesn't quite sit right if you don't have them in all the way. So there's that. There is an ab crunch a little bit. The legs, like I said, the knees do bend. They have kind of a joint here as well. And then the ankles go about that much to there. So now let's go ahead and combine them into tank mode. So what we want to do, which, let me try to get the right angle here. You'll have to forgive me. I haven't transformed this thing very much, and all the other videos I've seen for the Megazord, they don't really help with the showing you how to transform them. So you want to bring the arms up as far as you can. Okay, this is where, you know, when you first get it out, the joint is so tight it looks like it doesn't want to move, but they do move. They will go up all the way. Then you take these shins here, you open them up, and there is a very tight peg that pulls out. Okay, pull that out on both sides. Just be careful, you do not want to break it. All right, so once that's done, you bring Megazord or Tyrannosaurus. Let's see here. Find the best angle for this, because he is going to almost rest on his feet, kind of, when you put it in tank mode. The tail will come up to here, But for now, we'll leave it like this so he's got some balance. Okay. And then we'll take saber-toothed tiger, move him to the side. We'll take the saber-toothed tiger, we'll put the tusks or fangs, whatever you want to call them, up, close the mouth, bring in the back legs, then we'll bring in the front legs, all right, and then so there's a clip right here that plugs in right there. So let's see here. I want to say let's see. There we go. I think it goes kind of like that. And then we'll kind of do the same thing with Triceratops. Close the mouth. Tail's already in position. Got a plug there. And you just plug it in. Okay. So let's see. Then I think what we can do, we can go ahead and bring the legs of the Tyrannosaurus all the way back now. Yeah. There we go. All right, so we're almost there. Now we take the Mastodon. What you're going to want to do, you're going to want to unclip the head. This is why the head has no articulation, because these three clips plug into there, there, and there. We'll set the head to the side for now. And we unfold it, then you're going to want to undo these here. They just disconnect. Fold it. Fold it. Okay. Now, these tabs here and here clip in here and the same place on the other side. So you're going to want to have it just like that. So I got that side tabbed in. Now this side tabs in. Just like that. And then we take off the cannons of the pterodactyl. And we plug them in just like that. Okay, so this piece right here, it's the handle for the Mastodon shield, but you just want this tab here. It plugs in right to that little hole there. It is a little finicky, I guess. There's that. And then pterodactyl will plug in the back. Okay, so this does take a little bit. These tabs here, if you can see them there, they're going to tab in to those little narrow little spaces there. Don't worry if you can't get it on the first try. They are finicky, so give me just a moment. Okay, so here it is in tank mode. I finally did get Pterodactyl clipped in there. And you might be thinking that something just doesn't look right. Something seems to be missing. Well, that's these little pieces here. They clip in right there on the Tyrannosaurus's legs. But they do like to pop out. So I'm going to leave them out for now. When it's on display, I put them in. When I'm messing around with it, I just take them out. As for these, I'm not really sure what to do with these, because you can't, as you can see, you can't really have it in with the, well, maybe, let's see. Yeah, if I do that, it's just going to fall apart. The pterodactyl is going to fall off and everything. So we'll leave these out for the time being. I'm sure you can pop them in. They just won't, the front won't be connected. They'll be like winged out or whatever. So we'll leave them out for the time being. And how cool does this look? Megazord in tank mode. Now, I do wish it would have came with some like extra guns or something for the pterodactyl to use. And the tails should be up like this, since it is tank mode. And it is difficult to get the legs just right. Chances are you're likely not going to display it in tank mode unless you got two of them. Where one is in Megazord warrior mode and the other is in tank mode, which maybe eventually I'd like to do. But that's also going to require me getting 3 Megazords, because I would also like to eventually get the Dragon Zord and have the Dragon Zord battle mode. Mega Dragon, I've heard it called so many things in the course of the show. I'm rewatching the show, the entire series from beginning to end right now. I'm currently on Lost Galaxy. But I've heard the different formations called gone by multiple names. So, you know. But anyway, here's tank mode. And to get it into battle mode, it's really simple. Bring it up just like in the show. Bring it up, stand him up just like so. We'll take the cannons out, and pterodactyl's about ready to fall off. We're going to rotate the mastodon feet. Bring it down just like this. Bring the shoulder pads up. Take mastodon off. Alright, now I'm going to bring Tyrannosaurus head down. Push this back in place. Alright. Then pterodactyl, you just fold her head in, just like that. Fold the wings in. Then these clips here will clip in right here and here. And it does take a little bit of effort because they don't like to go. And see, this is where the size of the Triceratops and saber-toothed tiger kind of messes things up a bit, because they are different sizes. The saber-toothed tiger leg is a little bit bigger than the Triceratops leg. So he does have to stand kind of with the leg bent here. Now here is the issue I ran into whenever I got him out of the package. Do you notice anything wrong with his hands? How about I turn him like this? He's got two left hands, gripping hands. Now he does come with open hands too. I'm not going to go over those for this. I'm not going to use those hands. I'm not sure of many who would, because he has the power sword as well as the Mastodon shield. So he needs the gripping hands. So we're going to leave those out of the picture for right now. And he's got two left hands. It's not too big of a deal. Most people aren't going to notice it, especially since his power sword, which just take a moment to appreciate. Sorry guys, my phone ran out of memory. I had to empty the trash from my gallery in order to continue filming. But just look at that. That is quite possibly the best power sword I have ever seen. And it does fit in to the hand, just like that. I wish there was a way. I wish Megazord didn't have to have the one bended leg. See, it's just, I don't know if they're all like that or if it's just mine. But that's the only other problem really, other than the two left hands. Now Mastodon, the Mastodon head has a handle and that goes in. The other hand, they never really used it in the show except for maybe once, I want to say. I think it was once. Yeah, as you can see, there is quite a bit of a difference in size between the two. Yeah, I think it has to do with this peg that's back here that you can see. I don't know if I can push it in any further because I don't want to risk breaking anything on these. So we're going to leave it out for now. Just have them kind of with the bent leg pose, which I think, I mean, it looks okay. It's not too terribly bad. He is kind of leaning to the one side because of it. Yeah. It's the best. I don't know. I'm going to have to mess with it a little bit. See if I can get it a little bit later. But one thing I do want to show you is the tail of the Tyrannosaurus does attach right there where it's wobbling, where it's moving, so that you can do some articulation. And pterodactyl just unsnapped. With, I mean, it connects. You disconnect it here and attach it up there. I prefer to leave it out. And then the cannons attach to the Mastodon's feet. Like so. And he's kind of got that gangster lean to him. I don't know. Is anyone else's Megazord like that? Let me know if you have that problem. Now, I want to show you guys something that I haven't seen in any of the other review videos of this thing. And that's a comparison. Not with any of the other Megazords, but with something else entirely. Give me a moment. So first, we're gonna size comparison with Transformers Abominus. Pretty close in size. You could definitely have these two battling it out. See which is better. So those look pretty good together. Look better if Megazord's right leg wasn't bent that way and with the gangster lean, but not bad. Now we're going to move Abominus out of the way and we're going to do another comparison. Now here he is with, this is something I was looking forward to, but I was kind of disappointed because just look at the size difference between those two. This is the re-release from Playmates of Voltron, Defender of the Universe, that coincided with the Legendary Defender release, which I will bring up as well. Let me move my mic real quick. So he's not really wanting to stand all that well right now. But you can see there is quite a size difference. I really wish Hasbro would have made the sizes comparable. So that, you know, if we so desired, we could have the Megazord battle out with Voltron. But, I mean, they still look okay together. But it just looks like the Megazord is Voltron's little brother. And then we'll bring Abominus back in. Stand him up over here. So you can see them together. Back off just a little bit. So yeah, there you have it, guys. The ZAP Zord Ascension Project Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Dino Megazord. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. It's just taking a little bit out of me because I'm working full-time now. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to check out one of these two playlists for more videos just like the one you just watched. I've been Shannon. This has been Comic-Geddon TV, the only place on YouTube where all geek culture collides. Take care, geeks.